All right, radio check, radio check. I think we are live and good to go. So today we have qualifying here in Brazil, of course, at the Interlagos circuit in Sao Paulo. Lots to look forward to. We've got a sprint weekend today, so the usual, the usual setup for the sprint weekend: qualifying on a Friday, and then you've got the sprint day on a Saturday, and then the normal race on a Sunday. Yeah, we're qualifying today. Of course, the drivers only had one practice sessions. The standings of the one practice sessions are up on screen right now, so we'll go through those as we tick closer towards qualifying. 14 minutes left till we get going for quali. Yeah. All right. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Um, Good to see you guys here. We have got qualifying. Of course, nothing too weird about that. There was a chance of rain today in the morning, and then if we look at the weather for today, if we just look up into Lagos weather on Google, it says that the chance of precipitation right now is currently 30%. But even if it does rain, it will be a minuscule amount. So that's what the weather forecast is. 30% chance of raining, and if it does, it will be a tiny little amount of rain that does fall, which shouldn't affect anything apart from maybe slowing down the circuit a little bit. Nevertheless, though, bit of action, always makes a bit of rain. Definitely makes Interlagos a lot more exciting. Of course, last year we had Kevin Magnussen who went and got pole position because of rain. So when conditions work out that way, we can get some nice things going on at this circuit. All right. So the let's just have a quick run through of all of the a couple of stats and stuff like that before we dive right into what happened in FP1. There weren't too many incidents. Usually in these practice sessions, when they do have a sprint weekend, the teams tend to go a little bit more conservative and tell the drivers not to push because they don't want any sort of impact or collision or anything like that. And yeah. All right, I'll just be back in 1 second. I need to go get a drink. All right, so yeah, a couple of facts and stats. We've had the previous five pole sitters and winners. So the previous five pole sitters, of course, we had Kevin Magnussen 2022, a whole lot of chaos there. We had Max Verstappen in 2021, and then Max Verstappen the year before, well, in fact 2019, so 2 years ago, and then 2 years before that, sorry. And then Hamilton and Bottas. And the previous five winners have been George Russell, who won that race last year, even though the Mercedes was not that quick. And then Lewis Hamilton in 2021, Max Verstappen in 2019, Lewis Hamilton in 2018, and Vettel in 2017. So yeah, the Mercedes team, obviously, well, Hamilton obviously had quite a bit of experience here. Max Verstappen's won now 2 races at this circuit, so he's been doing a brilliant job here and has a fair amount of experience. Um, and Yeah, it's a brilliant circuit. I'm going to be honest with you. We had 62 overtakes completed not yesterday, last year, at this circuit. So yeah, 62 overtakes, no shortage of action whatsoever. And well, we've got the action up and coming in the next 3 days now. So we have got the first practice sessions that has happened, and we've had a pretty mixed standing here. I mean, if you see Max Verstappen, Sergio Perez in 16th and 18th position, they haven't even gone out on the soft tyres. And we've got Lando Norris, Oscar Piastri in 19th and 20th as well. On hard tyres, they haven't done a lap on the mediums. It's quite exciting, but we'll wait and see because they haven't put the soft tires on whatsoever. So the first time the drivers do go out onto the circuit, it will be on the soft tires. A bit of an interesting strategy call there from Red Bull, but I'm sure that they are confident in their decision and they're confident in their drivers that they don't need that much practice around the circuit. Of course, um, we've been racing here for quite a long time now, and a lot of the drivers have a lot of experience at this circuit. So we will, it shouldn't be too big of an issue. Hello, Dennis, Logan, Buller, PCD, Aid the Dude, Pure Balls, Gangster Penguin, yeah, and Paul. Right, thank you everyone for tuning in. We have got quite a hot circuit here today, 44 degrees track temperature, which is up there with Mexico that we had last weekend. So it is going to be, we're not going to have as bad tire wear as we did in Mexico because the tires that Pirelli have brought this weekend are one step softer, so one step harder. Sorry. So the soft tires that of this weekend are technically the medium tires of last weekend. So yeah, the medium tires obviously held up pretty well around Mexico circuit, and here we are at Interlagos, and the soft tires will do a decent job around here. We got quite a short circuit, 4.3 kilometers, and how many corners are there? 14 corners, but I'd say two of them, maybe three of them don't really count as corners, but I guess in wet conditions they are pretty tricky, so you can count them in as corners. The Ferrari do look very fast, but of course we haven't seen the pace of the Red Bulls in on soft tires. So we have no estimate of how quick the Ferraris are because we've got no one to compare them to. Because I mean, even looking at this, George Russell did have a solid lap. Mind I point out, he's gone 1/10 slower than the Ferraris on medium tires. So that is and the medium tires 4/10 of a second slower than the softs. So that is a pretty big, pretty quick lap there from George Russell. We'll see if the Mercedes ends up being quicker than the Ferrari, but as of now, Ferrari top of the timings. And then once, of course, we get into qualifying, we'll find out who is the fastest driver. We'll switch over from the practice to qualifying data now. So just give me a second. I'll get the quali data up. All right. The weather. Once again, there are like rain pockets around, 30% chance of rain, but it is all very, very light rain. So, but nevertheless, if you get light rain at the start of your quali, in the first 5 minutes of Q3, you want to get your lap done as soon as possible. Yeah. Oh, qualifying has been delayed. Sorry. Apologies. Someone did ask. Um, Yeah, Paul in fact asked, is qualifying delayed or not? Unfortunately, it is. I didn't get information about it, but there was debris on the circuit, and that's why it's been delayed. Is it raining? It is not raining, but there is a chance of rain. Right, let's see. Let's just get rid of this, and we'll update it with the new qualifying data. Okie dokie. Ooh, that's a little bit too big there. Let's just get that back. Okie dokes. So that is. We'll get the new qualifying. Qualifying actually has been delayed. Actually, let me just change that on the map on the timings. Give me 1 second. All right, qualifying been delayed. So apologies for that, but let's just keep going with the coverage. We've still got a fair amount to talk about. There hasn't been too many upgrades. Of course, we are reaching the latter stages of the season, so upgrades becoming less and less frequent as the teams move over to start developing for next season's car, which I think is fair enough. Of course, a lot of teams trying to get some big performance gains as they go into next season with their cars slightly lacking this year. You could probably say that for Alfa Romeo, for Mercedes, their cars have been too consistent. And, yeah, that is just what it is. It's just the case of how things are going. Yeah. And what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, the Williams still looking pretty quick today. I mean, we've got Albon up in fifth, Sargent up in ninth position. So they've had a pretty solid qualifying. Of course, they did run the mediums when the other drivers were on the hards. So we're yet to see if that is completely representative, but we don't know the fuel load. So they could have been running, a sprint race-esque fuel load. They could have had 1/3 of the fuel in the car and trying to do an entire sprint race worth in that 1 hour, which is definitely possible, by the way, because the sprint race takes 45 minutes, I think. So, yeah. All right. But of course, we are here in Brazil, in Interlagos, which stands for between lakes, and there are 3 lakes around well, this part of Brazil, and the circuit, of course, right in the middle of all 3 of them. So it kind of fits the name. I guess. Well, it was named after that, of course. So not too much to comment there. 4.3 kilometers is the length of the circuit. 5.56%. Sorry, the drivers spend at full throttle. 56% of the lap. And we've got 2 big DRS zones, one coming down the main straight and the second one after turn number 3 before turn number 4. That always kicks off a whole lot of action because we get these sequences of overtaking opportunities. So as the drivers make their way down into turn number 1, they have a little bit of a squabble through turn 1, 2, and 3. And if they are close enough to go for a re-overtake, then by the time they get to turn number 4, the DRS has helped them out. And you get a re-overtaking situation there, which is, brilliant, because then we get squabbles going down into 4, 5, and potentially even 6, depending on how the drivers go at it. And yeah, I mean, it's this sequence of corners that were at the Austin circuit as well, where we just saw so many overtakes go on, not just through turn number 1, but through turn number 11, 12, 13. There was a big complex of corners that put all of there was a big complex of corners that caused a lot of overtaking chances. And once again, turn number 1, 2, and 3, with the DRS on the exit of turn number 3, creates another one of those. So it is great to see. What else have we got going on this circuit? Of course, well, we've had so much history at the circuit. The first race here in 1973, we've had Senna get his home win here. We've had Seb Vettel in 2012 get knocked right to the back of the field and then makes his way through. Just a whole lot of action between at this circuit, and so much history at it as well. It's been extended. The contract with Formula One has been extended out to 2030, so another 5-year extension to the circuit, and rightly so. The drivers love it, the teams love it, the fans love it. It is, a fantastic circuit to go racing at. And of course, we've got the sprint weekend this weekend, so the fans get to see a whole lot more action as well, because we've got 4 sessions that matter rather than just 2. Yeah. Okie dokie. Also, guys, if you haven't hit the like button, be sure to do so. Definitely helps out the channel. It's not delayed because of the weather. It is delayed because of debris on the circuit, and that is why it's delayed by 15 minutes. So the timer is accurate. So it will start when the timer ticks down to 0. Yeah. All right. Yeah, and after this, only two races left. What sort of setup do the cars have on this circuit? Oh, I don't exactly know how to answer that, because I mean, it's definitely not. It's probably like a Baku-esque setup, because you've got such a long straight turn from turn number 12 to turn number 1. Like your back straight is so long. You definitely don't want too much downforce. And yeah, turn number 3 and 4 as well. Pretty long straight there. So I would probably say they've got a setup similar to Baku, but a little bit more downforce than Baku and Spa. Um, yeah, I mean it's kind of just in the middle of the rankings. There's not nothing too complicated with the setup here, because say at Mexico they've got to have the biggest brake ducts, the biggest vents, all of the cooling, all of the downforce as well. This circuit kind of standard. I mean, in the F1 games, which aren't particularly accurate, but in the F1 games, you're kind of just in the middle of the way through the on the downforce scales. So, yeah. Is Perez's contract going to get cancelled? Perez's contract. Well, of course, there are rumors, and there will always be rumors when Perez is performing the way he is. But I think that they have said that his contract is going to stay till next year. But I'm sure also if Lando Norris decides, if he calls up Christian Horner and is like, yeah, I kind of want to drive for Red Bull, then his contract will just get terminated. So who knows? Who knows? Aid the Dude asks, how are you doing today? Well, doing pretty good, thanks. Yeah. Um, Nothing too exciting, to be honest. Yeah, just a typical Friday. How about you guys? Hope you guys are doing all right. Yeah, once again, apologies for the delays. Just debris on the circuit that has caused the qualifying to be delayed by 15 minutes. Nothing too, nothing too exciting. No excessive rain or anything like that. In fact, the rain is predicted to be what? What was I going to say about the rain? Yeah, the rain. There's only a 30% chance of rain, and if it even if it was going to rain, it would be tiny amounts of rain that actually does fall. So yeah, not ideal in terms of action. In terms of if you're Kevin Magnussen and want to get another pole position, then yeah, the weather isn't helping you out. It's Friday, then Saturday, Sunday. What? Yeah, it is indeed Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday as well. Doing well, thank you. Hello from the UK. Hello also from the UK. Yeah, is your cold better? Yes, it is better. But I have a feeling that my throat is gonna get a bit worse after commentating this weekend, because we got 4 streams rather than just the usual 2. But it's all right. I've got some stuff in my throat, which should mean I'll be fine. Just hot water, honey, all of the typical stuff, and yeah, okie dokes. So yeah, once again, it has been confirmed by the FIA. The race will start in 11 minutes time, at 3:15 local time to Brazil, and then yeah, of course, I'll translate to your respective time zone. But the important thing to know: 11 minutes time, and then we'll get going. Yeah, another important weekend for Daniel Ricciardo. He had that brilliant qualifying out in Mexico, starting up in third position, I think it was third or fourth. And, I would say that if he can once again out qualify Sonoda and do something exceptional like that, that puts more pressure on Sergio Perez, because, well, I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory why I'd put more pressure on Sergio Perez. The driver who could potentially replace him is performing exceptionally well. Yeah, nothing. But Sergio Perez, he's just doing his own thing. He had of course, had that DNF at his home race, which he was very disappointed about. You could see it on his face, but that's sometimes just how the way things go. over the course of the season you have 2, 3 DNFs, and just when your career is as long as Sergio Perez, it's inevitable at some point you might DNF at your home race. Yeah. Yeah, 3 more races, including this one. You got Vegas, and then you have got, well, we've got Brazil, then we've got Vegas, and then we have Abu Dhabi. Yeah. Moon. Sky Germany will be streaming this race on YouTube. I think they will, but of course, it will come under geo restrictions, and only people in Germany will be able to watch it unless you have a VPN to Germany. Um, yeah. Right. We have got yeah, Daniel Ricciardo getting into the car now. Um, oh, and track temperature's actually come down a little bit. So in the morning in the practice session, track temperature was up at 47 degrees, which is exceptionally hot. But then now we're down to 40 degrees, so it's gonna be a pretty big shift in the sorry, yeah, the balance of the car is going to shift quite a bit due to that temperature drop, but it should be all right. And yeah, LJT. I'm moving to Germany. I mean, Germany. I don't can't tell if you're being serious or not, but Germany doesn't always stream F1 for free. Yeah, it's Austria, not Germany. Yeah, no, Austria does show Service One on TV, but you've also got to be in Austria for that. I'm pretty sure. Um, Germany, I think, sometimes streams it on YouTube, and then Austria show it on Service TV. But once again, you need a VPN for that. So, yeah, I might actually try and sort out a VPN deal. Um, so you guys can get a VPN for like £2 a month. VPN over to Germany, and then watch the race through the VPN, um, and then listen to my commentary, because of course German TV will have German commentary, which most people aren't going to understand. Yeah. Okie dokes. Right. What else is there really to talk about? See, the championship's kind of just handled up. So, yeah. Nope. It does. T-Strum. Yeah, no, I think the UK used to have one of those deals where Sky Sports would stream like one race, and then the next weekend it would be on Channel 4, which is a free channel, and then Sky Sports, and then Channel 4, and Sky Sports and Channel 4. But then Sky Sports just bought the rights out because uh why? Why did Sky Sports buy the rights out? Because, well, Sky Sports are just greedy and don't want people to watch F1. Well, they do. They just want people to watch F1 while also paying them. Yeah. All right. What happened in FP1? Anything fun? Unfortunately, not. No crashes. Nothing like that. I mean, the teams were being as conservative as possible. With the sprint race also coming up and only one practice session, they told the drivers just, well, be pretty careful, because they don't want to ruin their chances by having a crash in a practice session. And that's why we didn't have much action. Of course, we found what was I going to say? Honestly, my brain is not braining today. I'm very much forgetting what I'm saying. Oh yeah, we found out all the lap times and stuff like that, but they're not particularly representative considering most of the drivers are on different tires. So of course we had Sainz and Leclerc up on in first position up on soft tires, and then we had Russell in third on mediums, Verstappen and Perez on hards down in 16th and 18th position. That's not much to read into either, which makes it a lot less exciting, but it is what it is. Um, What is your opinion on the Interlagos circuit? Well, I would have to say it is a brilliant circuit, and yeah, there's just so much action, so much history. The circuit's great to drive on. The drivers love it. The teams love it. There's always strategy options. We could have a two-stopper. Yeah, I would definitely put it up there as one of the best circuits on the calendar. And it's also a proper racing circuit. It is narrow in places, but nevertheless, it's a dedicated racing circuit, not a street circuit. So you get a couple more advantages with that. And, sometimes we even get wet weather around here, which just contributes to the action, and it is fantastic to watch. I mean, 2016 around here, the qualifying last year, just whole bucket loads of action, and it is fantastic to watch. So I definitely would put this circuit up in the top, in the highest rankings of F1 circuits. Do a Christmas live stream and finally reveal your face this year. Christmas streams can be fun. Don't think I am gonna reveal my face, buddy. Um, yeah, I mean, I could reveal my face. It's not. I'm not gonna most likely. I'm not gonna meet anyone after I really reveal my face. It doesn't really matter. But I'd rather just stay anonymous, um, because why not? Okie dokes. Also, yes, the other thing. The rain forecast, it looks like all of the rain is just happily avoiding the Interlagos circuit, which is great. And the other thing I was going to say is, uh, so of course, as we had the last sprint weekend we had Mercedes and well, we had Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc get disqualified for plank wear. Of course, the plank on the bottom of their car wore out too much over the course of the weekend, and that is why. And that is why my brain is not. Honestly, my brain is not braining. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, and that's why this weekend the teams are going to be a lot more careful about how they run their cars, how they set them up, because they do not want a repeat of Austin, where at the end of the weekend they're just they get checked out and they get disqualified. So I think that's kind of self-explanatory, but yeah. How about a left ear reveal at least? Um, how about yeah, I don't know exactly what to say to that. Is Spa and Monaco that are circuit legends? Yeah, I mean Spa Monaco. Monaco, of course, hasn't got the best action, but it's a historic circuit, and sometimes we do get absolute bangers around there. So it's not. Yeah, I would still put Spa and Monaco up there because they are fantastic. Well, they've got all the history of Formula One, and Spa produces brilliant racing. Monaco sometimes not so much, but yeah. So yes, of course, obviously, yeah. Um, yeah, the Las Vegas circuit, that is going to be exciting to watch. Oh, I'm gonna have to get up at 6 a.m. to commentate that. Um, but it'll be fine. Getting up at 6 a.m. not too big of a deal. Has there been snowfall ever during a race? No, I don't think. Well, I don't. Off the top of my head, I don't know. But on an unrelated note, the Pirelli back in 2018, when Pirelli had the soft, super softs, hyper soft, ultra soft, all of that stuff. Um, what did they have? They had a snow tire on the F1 cars. They had a snow tire available to the F1 cars, which is, might I say, just fantastic. Um, yeah. So we could have had a race in the snow on the Pirelli range in 2018 because they had those tires, but I'm going to be honest, they probably weren't going to be used. It was just on their website. I never saw them at a circuit or anything like that. Right, we are getting underway now for qualifying, so the drivers will be making their way out the pit lane, as you can see on the map. If you squint, then a couple of drivers lined up at the end there. and we are getting ready to go racing. My favorite circuit, the old Hockenheim. Honestly, the Hockenheim ring should come back to F1. There are quite a lot of fans in Germany, as evident on the the people tuning up to my live stream. Of course, you haven't got the standout German driver like Schumacher or Vettel anymore, but nevertheless, it is you've still got Nico Hulkenberg, and I think you don't have to have a specific driver. You can just have someone else. Well, you can just the fans will support any driver. It doesn't have to be a driver of their nationality. Of course, it helps, but yeah, I would love to see Formula One back at the Hockenheim ring. Yeah, they won't do a German GP because it's too expensive, quote unquote. And then and quote unquote, there's not that many F1 fans. There are definitely F1 fans, and I mean it's too expensive. I think it's too expensive compared to the amount of money that Saudi Arabia and Qatar are offering them. But Saudi Arabia and Qatar, they can just basically print money at this. So yeah. Oh, sorry about that. I kind of just blew into my mic a little bit. All right. So we finally got underway for qualifying. Already hit 200 likes. Thank you everyone for hitting the like button. If we could hit 500, then that'd be brilliant. I mean, the stream qualifying's just started. We're on 200 already, which is great to see. How many people we got tuned in? We got 1,000 as well. Thank you everyone for tuning in. If you are enjoying, then be sure to hit the like button. I'm gonna have a quick drink of water, and then we have got qualifying to commentate. All right. All right. So the drivers now making their way around. Nürburgring also iconic. Yeah, I mean, of course, the entire Nürburgring would be a little bit unrealistic for F1 to race around, but I could definitely get on board with them racing. 1 year at Hockenheimring, the other year at the Nürburgring. And Germany pretty well interconnected, and the fans could the German fans at least could definitely make their way to either one of the circuits. So yeah. All right. Anyway, we've got qualifying underway now. We've got Alex Albon on a flying lap. Here he comes out of the final corner. Let's have a look and keep an eye out on this. The Williams, by the looks of it, is quickest. No, sorry, not the Williams. The Red Bull is quickest in a straight line. So how is Track Evolution? I mean, we haven't had all the laps come through yet. So Track Evolution, I suspect, will be pretty strong considering they've only had 1 hour of practice. So as the drivers, of course, do more and more running on the circuit, we'll get more and more Track Evolution as that happens. All right. So let's get going. We can't offer money to like Qatar, but we do have basic human rights. I mean, yeah, no, that is definitely true. I mean, the Saudi Saudi Arabia race in 2021 happened while there was some missile that was sent about I don't know how far away it was from the circuit, but you could definitely see it on the helicopter shot. So yeah. Oh, look at this. Max Verstappen slower than Lando Norris. Where has he lost all of that time? He has lost all of that time in the second and third sectors. So very strange there. Let's not read into this too much. We still have Track Evolution yet to go. But we have Lando Norris up currently in pole position with Max Verstappen in second place. How does qualifying work? So qualifying, you have 3 different sessions: qualifying 1, qualifying 2, and qualifying 3. In qualifying 1, all 20 drivers take part, and then the 5 slowest gets eliminated. Then in qualifying 2, you have the 15 that weren't eliminated. They once again take part, and the 5 slowest get eliminated after that. And then in Q3, you have the top 10 that didn't get eliminated. And they, once again, just set a couple more laps to see who's the fastest. And the sessions are 18 minutes, then 15 minutes, and then 12 minutes long, respectively. Right, Hamilton up into second position here, just ahead of Max Verstappen by half a tenth of a second. Not that big of a gap there. Lando Norris has set some sort of sensational lap, maybe, or yeah, I don't know how he's set such a quick lap, but that's what's happening. Heavy rain minutes away. Well, I guess that's explaining why everyone is out so quickly setting lap times. Well, okay, we'll confirm if that heavy rates minutes away is true, but just looking at the clouds here, it has suddenly got very grey. Yeah, which is interesting. Sergio Perez pulls into the pit lane. Why has he done that? Oh, he's pulled into the pit lane, and what are they doing? Oh, they're refueling the car, putting on getting him out as soon as possible. Otherwise, yeah, they're gonna be in the garage when the rain hits, which is not great. So I think what's just happened here is everyone's just driven a lap of qualifying, and made sure that they make their way through. Why the delay? The delay was for debris on the circuit, and there's a bit of an incident there between George Russell and Gasly, with Russell impeding Gasly on the pit exit. They'll investigate that after the session. Yeah. Hello, Azure Light Studios. What's up? We got 11 minutes left on the clock here, and yeah, right. Ooh, look at this! Both Ferraris in the elimination zone, and we could have potential rain up and coming. They are out on a fresh set of tires, so they will set another lap. I don't know why they're out on used tires, but nevertheless, yeah. Yeah, Remy loved the Nagazi turned in on him. The typical George Russell comment, if we're being honest there. Ooh, all right. So here goes Charles Leclerc on a flying lap, then up into eighth gear, 330 kilometers an hour as he makes his way down the main straight, braking into turn number one, hits left and then the right, and now onto the turn number four here. They've come over to the radio. No rain expected for the next 2 to 3 minutes. They have enough time for one time lap. Leclerc purple through the first sector. Absolutely fantastic flying there. And we saw this in FP1. They were very quick on the soft tires. So let's see what Carlos Sainz can do. There he goes, a tenth and a half slower than Leclerc in the first sector. Yeah, I'm sorry, the rain more like 10 to 15 minutes away. Well, yeah, I mean that's typically what we see. We'll get a warning saying rain in 2 minutes and then rain in 5 minutes, and then it ends up never falling. So that's why I'm very cautious about when I say rain's coming out. Oh my God, Leclerc 0.8 of a second ahead of Lando Norris. I mean, maybe this is some track evolution, but the what's it gonna say? Leclerc is just absolutely blitzed. Oh my God, he was 0.8 of a second up and he's lost so much out of the final sector. Okay. I think Lando Norris got a tow. Yeah, Lando Norris must have got a tow down the final sector, and that's why he's up in first position. But that just shows you guys, Lando Norris probably slower than Verstappen, probably slower than Hamilton, and getting a tow down the back straight has just given you an absolutely brilliant chance there. So we'll keep an eye out, see if any other teams try to pull that off. Right. Yeah. Ooh, Oscar Piastri. Bruno eye visions. I'm in a bar and I'm seeing everything fine. Well, I'm just gonna double check that the bar is not playing my live stream, right? The bar is playing the actual F1 and then you're just reading the comments. I hope that's what you're doing. Otherwise, if there's a bar playing my live stream, I mean, that is awesome. Yeah. All right, we've got Leclerc up in first, Lando Norris, and Piastri puts himself up into second. So that's nicely done there from Oscar Piastri's purple in the first sector goes quicker than Leclerc by a fraction of a second. Then we get Stroll up into third, who's really bounced back here. I mean, look at this, going quicker than Fernando Alonso, which is brilliant to see. And yeah. All right, 7 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock. No rain has fallen as of yet, and clouds have got less grey and less dull. So we could, yeah, maybe that rain isn't coming. We will have to wait and see. Here comes Sergio Perez out across the line. Fifth position for him. All right. Another suggestion, timetable, whole left side of the screen. Yeah, I mean it's a tricky thing because let's just have a look. Right? If I expand this out this big, then you get basically no space for the map. So yeah, that's the downside there. Based on your graphics I rewatched, I did not see a toe for Norris's lap. Interesting. Well, I can't find the sector times because he's already done another lap, but yeah, Norris must have just set a really good lap then at that point. But of course, the lap times have got significantly better. So yeah, not much else to say. I mean, to be fair, you've got to consider that the warm up process of these tires around here as well. It's quite a short circuit, 4.3 kilometers, and the lap times are only 1 minute 10. So the warm up process that the drivers actually have is very, very short because look at this. So the pit lane, I don't know if my mouse will show up on screen. No, it won't. It won't show up on the map at least. But basically, the pit lane leads you out at the exit of turn number 3. So you've only really got the middle sector to get your tyres into the ideal condition, and then you have to start accelerating out of the final corner. So you get top speed going down the main straight. So maybe Lando Norris just nailed the warm up of his tyres, and yeah, because it is quite difficult around this circuit when you've got such a short section of the track just to get your tyres into the correct conditions. Yeah. All right. Oh yeah, Danny Coltrane. Thanks for pointing that out. We've got the top 17 in the gap of 1 second, basically. Everyone's so close together, which is great to see. And of course, once you are at a circuit that's slightly shorter, all the gaps and stuff gets compressed a little bit. Yeah. Merc should bring the underlights in Vegas. Yeah. Yeah, the underglow. I mean, that would be brilliant to see. It would make the cars look very, very cool. I mean, if I got I'm currently a teenager, so I would do such a ridiculous thing as get underglow on a car. I think it looks really cool, but I'm sure after I grow up a little bit, I'll realize that it's not as cool as I think it is. Right, Hamilton's come over the radio. Well, Hamilton's engineer has come over the radio saying we're going to have to do another lap in qualifying, and he's currently on that flying lap. Oh no, he's currently on the in lap of that lap. Sorry, but everyone else is improving so much. They're not sure that they're actually going to make it through into Q2, so they're going to go out on another set of soft tires to try and confirm that. Yeah. All right. Let's see what else is going on the circuit. Also, guys, if you haven't hit the like button, then be sure to do so. It really does help out the channel. And how many people have we got watching? 1,600. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Very much do appreciate it. And yeah. All right. So yeah, we've just got the usual qualifying session. Not that much going on right now. We've got Alex Albon on a flying lap here. Has a pretty big improvement on his previous lap. Of course, he's currently in 20th position. Here he comes across the line up into 4th. Wow. I mean, yeah, there's not much else I can say to that, but he has done a brilliant lap. He's gained so much time out of the final corner. Yeah, I mean, must just be a rocket ship in a straight line, and the Williams usually is. So yeah, I mean, it's great to see. And just looking at the forecast once again, there is rain falling maybe 4-5 kilometers away from the circuit, but it's not headed towards the circuit. So, it's falling 4 or 5 kilometers away, and it'll fly around. It will go somewhere else. It will not go to the circuit, according to the radar. Yeah, we'll wait and see. All right. 2 minutes left on the clock now. We've got a lot of drivers coming out the pit lane, and they'll be getting ready to go racing. Ooh, Stroll's come over the radio and said drops of rain. Well, I guess whatever I just said was totally wrong. And the weather radar was also totally wrong because Stroll's reporting drops of rain. Lap times are still improving though. So, we don't know how reliable that is. Of course, Stroll could just be seeing some sweat in his helmet. Yeah. Okie dokes. Why does it say Perez? Oh no, it's alright. Bit of a glitch there. Good job from Sean. Maybe you should become a meteorologist instead of a driver. Honestly, Remy, I think you should come up. If there's a job that needs like quick, witty comebacks, like you're the man. You're the man for it. Yeah, I just don't know what kind of job needs quick, witty comebacks. But you're really good at them. It's starting to rain now. Max Verstappen's time to shine because he had the power of Ayrton Rainmaster Senna de Silva. Well, I mean, if 2016 is anything to go by, Max Verstappen is an absolute beast in the rain at this circuit. But Kevin Magnussen, sorry, got pole position here when it was raining last year round. So don't count out K-Mag, who's currently in 20th position. Don't count him out. Because his teammate Nico Hulkenberg, purple in the first sector, mate. Absolutely fantastic. He gets a toe off Max Verstappen coming down the main straight, and he puts himself up into third. That is, oh my God, Nico Hulkenberg, take a bow. Yeah, nicely timed there from the Haas team. And right, we've got the final runs of Q3. K-Mag comes across the line into 6th position. Next driver to come across the line, Fernando Alonso. He's currently in 15th, 2 green sectors from him. And he is half a second away from George Russell, who's up in pole. Alonso across the line and 6 milliseconds behind his teammate Ricciardo, the next driver, into 16th. He has been eliminated, unfortunately. And Yuki Tsunoda is on his flying lap. We've got Sainz up next. Sainz pulls into the pit lane. Next driver is Yuki Tsunoda, currently in 15th. He crosses the line, cannot improve. Next up, Logan Sargent, who is in 18th position. And he once again, 2 yellow sectors for him. Doesn't look like he is going to improve, and he pulls into the pits. Max Verstappen, next driver, up into 2nd place. Isn't ahead of Russell, surprisingly. And next is Esteban Ocon. He goes into 14th, pushes both AlphaTauri drivers now into the elimination zone. And we have got no one else left. Everyone else has done a lap. I think George Russell, coming into the pits as well. So that has been Q1, guys. We have got Tsunoda, Ricciardo, Bottas, Sargent, and Zhou eliminated. So those drivers are the bottom 5. Yeah. Hulkenberg, though, still up in P4. That is fantastic. How he has done that, no idea. Well, of course, he had a help from Max Verstappen with a bit of a toe. But nevertheless, that is a solid job from him. And now we are going to have to wait 2-3 minutes till we get the next qualifying session, and the teams will be, well, hoping that it doesn't rain. Ooh, Sonoda is over the radio saying Lewis Hamilton is holding him up. Let's have a look. Oh, so let's have a look. Pierre Gasly lets Sonoda overtake, and then interesting here. So because the pit lane is so long, the drivers are totally permitted to go as slowly as they want to try and get the correct warm-up technique for their tires. You know, they can go slowly and they can cool down the tires, or if they need to go quickly, they can warm up the tires. But what was I going to say? Yeah, a couple of drivers blocking other drivers in the pit lane. And of course, Tsunoda not happy about that. He's going to complain to the FIA about Hamilton blocking him. So we'll wait and see what happens there. And yeah. No, there is no speed limit in that bit, Hilda. Going through into when you're on the exit of the pit lane, there is no speed limit. As soon as you exit the actual pits itself, the speed limit is disabled and you can drive as quick as you want. So, yeah, so technically Hamilton was driving slower than usual, but he was doing that for his tyres, which is totally allowed. But of course, blocking another driver, not so much. We'll wait and see. Brain not braining, exactly. Yeah, my brain is definitely not braining. Yeah, in fact, I'm gonna have a quick drink of water to try and help my brain do some braining. With Sargent out of Q1, his chances for the title this year have been drastically lowered. What do you think of the World Championship fight between Verstappen and Sargent? I mean, it has been such a tightly fought battle. Both drivers so consistent. And we've got Verstappen consistently winning races, Sargent consistently in 20th position. The championship battle has been quite. I mean, it's been incredible between Sargent and Verstappen. So, yeah, those are my thoughts. Are you sick or what? Indeed, I am. I am sick. I was a lot more sick last weekend, but I've just been recovering from the sickness this week. So, yeah. Yeah. It's funny because Sergeant learned what a kilometer is. Yes, Sergeant did learn what a kilometer is. Uh, yeah. How are both alphas out? The alphas are out because they just weren't quick enough. Honestly, that is such a great answer. Why are they out? Because they were slow. No, it's. I think it's mainly because Alpha haven't developed too much, and they kind of switched off giving upgrades to their car as well, and they focused straight on next year's car. So yeah, the lack of upgrades is kind of what's getting them. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I am honestly, if I could travel from Kota to Mexico to Brazil, that'd be pretty cool. Someone could, you know, I could commentate for an F1 team. I could commentate for Ferrari or McLaren or someone. Yeah. Right. Okie dokes. Um, Now it is. We've got 15 minutes left on the timer, and we'll be getting going very, very shortly now. Um, yeah. Okie dokes, the drivers will be out in just a second. And yeah, then we will have Q2 underway. All the drivers queued up now, and once again, the rain forecast just ever so slightly missing the circuit and not really. At most, you're going to see a couple of drops here and there, but it doesn't look like there is going to be rain. But the team's, of course, very concerned about the possibility of rain and sending everyone out as soon as possible. Yeah. Yeah, won't be commentating for Haas as their budget is a bucket of paint on a pedestal. Well, I think that's a little bit harsh towards Gene Haas and his budget, but yeah, Haas probably hasn't got the marketing budget for. Well, I mean, they could probably pay me to stream on their YouTube channel, but not exactly got the marketing budget to fly me around the entire world to commentate F1 races. Yeah. And also, I'm in university, so don't know exactly how that would work. But yeah, I don't know. Dropping out of university to go commentate for an F1 team isn't the most stable career in the world because there are about 5 commentators of Formula One. And then if you include maybe F2, F3, F4, you probably have like 15. Yeah. All right. Drivers now out onto the circuit. We've got Verstappen leading the way, Perez behind him, and an awful lot of drivers queued up at the exit of the pit lane. So let's take you on board with Max Verstappen's lap. Here he goes down the start-finish straight, barreling down into turn number 1. It's a downhill braking zone. Makes his way down the hill now through the right of turn 2, left of turn 3. And he is coming down. There's a couple of cars on the left-hand side, but everyone out of the way very nice. He activates DRS as he goes through there, and it is at 18.49 in the first sector, slightly slower than he was on the previous sector, in Q1, sorry. And yeah, just making his way through the next couple of corners. His car is very, very low to the ground, but we aren't seeing too much sparking. There's a whole lot of travel that we can see in the suspension. The car leaning to the left, leaning to the right, but it is doing as expected. So yeah, Max Verstappen having a nice job there. Leclerc gets out of the way nicely, and he is now braking into going into the third sector now. And in fact, we've got Sergio Perez here, who's purple, in fact, quicker than Verstappen through the first sector. So very quick job there from Sergio Perez. He's slower in the second, but it might balance out. And Max Verstappen looking pretty quick today. Yeah. All right, Perez crosses the line. He's 2 tenths behind Max Verstappen. Not too big of a gap there, It's been a lot worse in the past couple of weekends. So 2 tenths of a gap has been nicely done. We've got Fernando Alonso exiting turn number 12 here, making a couple of changes to his brake balance settings and whatnot before he gets racing. Before he brakes for turn number 12, one of the stranger corners on the circuit, uphill braking zone, kind of go all over the curbs to get a great exit. And here he comes across the line, 4th position for him, goes slower than Alex Albon, surprisingly. And then Stroll, in fact, ahead of Alonso. I mean, it's been a long time since we've seen this, but Stroll bouncing back at least. And he has half a second ahead of Alonso there. I mean, I don't know if Alonso made some mistake or anything like that, but Stroll half a second ahead of Alonso. Nicely done. Okie dokes. Perez has had a very good race here, even getting podiums with Force India. Yes, Perez has. So, I mean, yeah, of course, he's doing a great job. 2 tenths behind his teammate. We've got Lando Norris slots himself between the 2 Red Bulls in second position, a 10th and a half slower than Max Verstappen. All right, Leclerc next across the line, 8th position for Charles Leclerc. He's on a used set of tyres though, so keep that in mind. Sainz as well, he's on a used set of tyres, so he's in 10th position there. I mean, that just shows you guys the Sainz and Leclerc have done one set of laps already on those tyres. And they are currently in 9th and 11th position, where they definitely shouldn't be. They should be probably up in 6th, 5th, somewhere there. So, yeah. some serious pace is lost after one lap on those soft tires. Yeah. Okie dokie. Also, guys, if you haven't hit the like button, be sure to do so. Definitely does help out the channel. How many people have we got tuning in? We've got 1,800. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Also, apologies for the adverts that YouTube is running on streams now. I used to be able to turn them off, but YouTube, just loves money and is now playing adverts midstream as well. So, yeah. Okie dokes. Let's see, 9 minutes left on the clock. We've had everyone except the two Hasses do their final runs here. And let's see what K-Mag can do then. And Nico Hulkenberg, here they are. All right, Hulkenberg across the line. Oh no, sorry, apologies. Hulkenberg starting a lap now. And the same can be said for K-Mag. What are Piastri and Ocon doing? They are doing an in-lap, and Hamilton on an out-lap already. Yeah, very interesting. I mean, I think Mercedes are doing maybe a double warm-up here. It's a bit strange to come out with 9 minutes left on the clock. Maybe they're trying to do multiple runs. Is he out on a fresh set or a used set? Let's have a look. Hamilton out on a fresh set of tyres as well. And the same for George Russell. So yeah, maybe they're doing a double warm up as a bit of a strategy change there, because as I said before, the drivers have only really got the middle sector to warm up their tires and get them into the optimal conditions. And yes, that might not be sufficient, and they're going to try and do a double warm up. What happened to Ferrari? Question mark, 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 question mark. Ferrari, they went out on used set of tires. Yeah. Okie dokes. Right. Question: do you earn anything from streams? Yeah. Well, it's not like a ridiculous amount. I'm not going to go buy a Lamborghini or even a car with it. It's been enough to buy a laptop that I'm streaming on right now, because my old laptop wasn't great. But yeah, I earn a bit of money. But yeah, regardless if I earn money or not, YouTube is getting an absolute bucket of it by sticking adverts on everything. All right, it is a sprint weekend. Hamilton over the radio saying track temperature dropping, and it indeed is. Track temperature down to 35 degrees. That is a 10 degree, well, nearly 10 degrees colder than what it was in practice. So, yeah, 10 degrees lower than what it was in practice, which is obviously going to change the balance up a lot, and the teams have to be prepared for so many different conditions, because I think sprint quali tomorrow as well is going to be kind of hot conditions, a lot hotter than this, I think. And then the race as well can be in cooler conditions, so it's interesting, and they have to be able to deal with that. And yeah, what is wrong with Ferrari? Ferrari, once again, they were out on a used set of tires. Here they are on a fresh set of softs now, and the same can be said for the McLarens as well. All right, so let's have a look at this then. So Ferrari, as they make their way through the first, well, at the final corner now, Charles Leclerc up into 5th position, as expected. That's where we expected the Ferraris to be. Nicely done, nicely done. And George Russell, might I point out, brilliant lap there. And the timings are so close between all of the drivers. From second down from second down to 9th, the gap is like 70 milliseconds. It is so close from third to 9th now. Yeah, it's extremely close there. Sainz as well beats his teammate, and he goes 10th slower than Verstappen, up into second place now. So I mean, it's great to see top four positions or top or 4 different teams. That is brilliant. And yeah, Sainz doing a brilliant job there. Out qualifying Leclerc as well, which doesn't happen too often. Okie dokes, 5 minutes, 20 seconds left on the clock, and we have got Fernando Alonso out on a flying lap. And the same can be said for Alex Albon. We got Russell, Norris is on a flying lap, I think. Russell pulling into the pits, Leclerc pulling into the pits. But yeah, let's keep an eye out on Fernando Alonso's lap because yeah, he's meant to be quite a bit faster than Stroll. Well, usually he is, and yeah, just looking at this lap here, he's very marginally slower than Ocon here. So Alonso not having the best of weekends so far, and yeah. Right. How is he doing? I mean, Alonso kind of missing the apexes. The car isn't being as reactive as you would like to be. A little bit understeery, but he's dealing with it all right. And in fact, he's up on Ocon's time by 0.4 of a second. So where's that going to put him? Oh my God, that's going to put him up potentially up in second position. Depends how good his back straight is now. How good of an exit did he get, and how quick is that Aston Martin in a straight line? And Fernando Alonso up into second position. Love to see it. The hype train is back, guys. The hype train is back. Norris up into first. Okay, maybe the hype train isn't back. Maybe it was just track evolution. But yeah. Ooh. Milka Dragic. Sub question: is it complicated to get? Basically, with YouTube, you have to have 1,000 subscribers, and also you have to have 4,000 hours of people watching one of your videos. So you've got to have an hour-long video with 4,000 views, and every single one of those views, the person watches all the way to the end, which is quite difficult to get. I mean, it took me like over a year of streaming and making videos to get to that point. So yeah, it's not like an easy thing that you can just like, oh yeah, I'm going to start streaming and start earning money. Like it's a pretty long, lengthy process. But I was lucky to start it over COVID. So I got a lot of free time, of course, being a teenager in COVID, just buckets and buckets of free time. Okie dokie. What country are you from? I am from the UK. Let me know which country you guys are from. I'm pretty sure we've got people from everywhere in the world. Maybe not North Korea, but apart from that, probably nearly everyone. Not everyone, everywhere. I mean, okay, there are 200 countries in the world. Probably not every country, but yeah. Okie dokes. Ooh, we've got Alex Albon track limit deletion. Alex Albon has got a lap time deleted for exceeding track limits at turn number 4. This first one we've had here. So, yeah. Ooh, we've got Slovenia, Kenya, Portugal, Bosnia, USA, Isle of Man. Oh, no, I know the Isle of Man. I mean, I'm from the UK, so I'm definitely going to know that. Australia. Ooh, Australian. France, Vietnam, the Netherlands, Iceland, Finland, Bangladesh, Italy, Wales, India, Brazil, Germany. Oh, you're from India. The World Cup's happening in India. Cricket World Cup, Germany, Netherlands, Zambia, Singapore, Canada. Wow. Well, yeah, pretty well. I mean, the stream's pretty worldwide then. Yeah, Sri Lanka, Bulgaria, Nepal, Germany. Okay, let's just get back to. Well, I'm going to get back to qualifying here. I will continue reading chat messages. But Max Verstappen getting a little bit squirrely on the exit of turn number 4 here. And yeah, the driver's confidence slightly. Well, thing is, once you are at a sprint weekend, every single one of your sessions become a critical session. You've got to be performing at your best and not make a mistake, because you make a mistake, that basically ruins your entire weekend. So not ideal. Yeah. Mexican wave from us. I mean, I don't know exactly how you guys are going to do a Mexican wave in chat, But I would go ahead and try. I don't know how exactly you could do a Mexican wave in chat. Okie dokes. So we've got 20 seconds left on the clock. We've got nearly everyone out onto the circuit. And let's have a look at qualifying then. Yeah, India is fire in the World Cup. Yes, his match with Shankar was technically not. Yeah, I think they bowled them out for like less than 100 or something. Pretty crazy. New Zealand. Oh yeah, well see I told apparently last stream I said New Zealand had a 90-mile long beach, but it was actually 90 kilometers. So correction there. Apologies for that. Yeah, for the miss. I mean, I didn't know what a kilometer was, guys. What can I tell you? I mean, what the f is a kilometer? All right, so we've got the final runs of Q3 coming through now. Charles Leclerc currently in ninth position, his teammate up in fifth. Here he comes across the finish line. He improves himself up into seventh position, not getting ahead of his teammate. Quite surprising there. Next up is, who have we got on a flying lap? We've got, oh, nobody else is on a flying lap. Everyone else is kind of just trundling around. This is a little bit strange. Are Ocon and Gasly not on a flying lap? No, everyone seems to have aborted their flying laps. Interestingly enough, so the drivers eliminated are Hulkenberg, Ocon, Gasly, K-Mag, and Albon. Yeah. How different is Albon's and Sargent's car? I mean, I think there might be a couple of upgrades that are different, but mostly they are the same. Because Williams was slightly struggling with making parts and then also making spare parts as well. So they put the upgrades on Albon's cars first. But at this point now, they in the season they will have made the new parts and put them on Sargent's car as well. All right here, so just on board with K-Mag and completely missing that apex a little bit, and he's going to complain that Leclerc's dirty air ruined it for him. But yeah, there isn't much Leclerc could do there. And Alex Albon ever so slightly exceeded track limits. It was so close. A couple of centimeters here and there. And yeah. Okie doke. So the drivers eliminated are the two Hasses, the two Alpines, and Alex Albon. So the top 10 consists of 5 teams. We've got the 2 Red Bulls, the 2 Mercedes, the 2 Ferraris, the 2 McLarens, and the 2 Aston Martins. That is what today's, today's Q3. We've got 5 teams, 10 drivers, and 12 minutes of qualifying yet to go. Currently in the Constructors' Championship, the McLarens are ahead of Aston Martin. Now, I don't think Aston Martin are going to get ahead of McLaren, but it seems like they finally understood their upgrades and can actually get some, good performance in. So that is good. Also, Q3 now starting in 5 minutes time, guys. 5 minutes time. So just hang on in there, and we will be underway shortly. Also, guys, if you haven't hit the like button, that would be fantastic if you would do so. We're 15 likes away from the like target, from 500 likes. And yeah, we got 2,000 people tuning in. I very much appreciate all of your support. I'll try to keep it a little bit more focused on the actual qualifying that's going on. But in the next, 3-4 minutes, if you guys have any questions, then be sure to ask them. Any questions that aren't particularly F1 related, or just Anyway, all right, F1 Gamer, where are you from? I am from the United Kingdom, the UK. Yeah. Your voice is relaxing. Well, do appreciate it. I'm gonna, I could do some real ASMR here. ASMR. I don't know how this works, but okay. But we're gonna keep it. Oh, what's just happened here? Oh, the likes have just reset back down to 0. What's happened there? Oh no. Well, There you go. We've gone back to 521. I think what uni you are. I'm not going to say what uni I am at, but I'm going to say it is, in the it's in the London area. Probably not. You wouldn't say London, I don't think, but yeah. How is the sprint position decided? It is. How is the sprint decision decided? What was it? It's just sprint qualifying. Yeah, sprint qualifying tomorrow. That's how they'll decide the sprint race. What is? Oh yeah, I should increase the target to 700. Sure. What am I studying? Engineering. I might even apply to an internship at one of the F1 teams. See if I can get some insider information, and then leak it all on my YouTube channel, because that will. I mean, it's the most credible way to leak stuff. Nobody knows it's me. Yeah. When is the race timming? Honestly, I don't know when the race is timming, if I'm being honest with you. Yeah. Alonso on a mystery tire. Yeah, no, the software takes a while to figure out what tire the drivers are on, or I'm not sure. It takes I think the teams have to input it into the system, and if the team's a little bit slower at that, then it comes up on a mystery tire. I study engineering. You're an intern in the McLaren Technology Building. Well, Ahmed. Then in the about section of my YouTube channel, if you click on F1 Gamer and then press about, there's my email. Email me, and then if you could get me an internship at McLaren, that'd be amazing. Or you could just leak some McLaren insider information. Is Lando Norris leaving? Is he going to Red Bull? Yeah, Stroll made it in. I mean, Stroll's been having a pretty decent weekend so far. Been able to keep up with Alonso, and a couple of times actually going quicker than him. So, yeah. It is nicely done there from Lance Stroll. Yeah, qualifying now starting shortly. All the drivers, in fact, queued up right at the end there, getting ready to go racing. Just with this threat of rain here, everyone is coming out as soon as possible to get going. Yeah. How? Right, let's see. Yeah, not the green light just yet. We'll get the green light in, about 30 seconds or so. Ooh, Leclerc over the radio. Rain is expected when? It's 7 minutes into session, guys. Apparently, we have rain expected in 7 minutes. Apparently. There are very dark clouds around. The clouds actually look dark. Well, they look darker than last time. And just looking at the weather radar, there is a whole lot of red and yellow, which means a lot of rain. And it is getting perilously close to the circuit. Yeah, honestly, my brain very much not braining. I very much do apologize, but my brain will be braining tomorrow for the sprint race and sprint quali. So be sure to tune into those streams. Who comes out first has the advantage. True. But who sets the last lap time before rain starts falling also has an advantage. Yeah. Maybe you should apply for head of strategy at Ferrari. You could replace the 5-year-old. Well, I saw this thing somewhere. I was going to post it on my community thing. I might post it still, but it was like, what was it? What was it? It was. Oh yeah, if you ask a kid to paint to color a car, they'll paint it red, and that's all you need to know about Ferrari. And if you ask Ferrari who makes their strategy decisions, it will be a 5-year-old. It'll be a kid. Yeah, honestly, I forgot the exact wording, so it doesn't sound as good. But yeah, How's the weather in the UK? Crete, lovely 26 degrees. Oh no, the UK uses degrees. Like I don't need the Fahrenheit reading. Um, yeah, the UK. I mean, it's just just typical rain. Nothing too much more exciting than that. But here we are now. We're underway for qualifying, and oh my god, the clouds, they are basically black. Um, yeah, it does look like we are going to get rain here. So yeah, rain is definitely falling, and we've got Fernando Alonso on his way to complete to be the first driver to complete a lap. Behind him is Stroll, then Hamilton, then Verstappen, then Russell. So as the drivers make their way through, Verstappen, as he makes through turn number 2, the car understeering a little bit, and this is what we see as the temperature cooled down. The balance of the car goes more rearward. You get more rear grip, but then more rear grip means less front grip, and yeah, the car understeering a little bit there. And we're not seeing too much sparking. The team's being very, very careful here with the ride height, not trying to get too much wear and tear on the plank, so they can, not get disqualified like Leclerc and Hamilton did 2 weekends ago. All right, it is, yeah, definitely a very dark grey or very much blackish, a cumulonimbus cloud or whatever they're called. Um, And all right, Fernando Alonso across the line. Stroll across the line goes slightly quicker than Alonso. Wow. Stroll really putting up a fight here against Alonso. He's not going to be walked all over. Rain expected in 2 minutes' time. We got Max Verstappen coming out of the back straight. Here he comes across the line. He goes, and he is up into first position at 1 minute 10.76 tenths ahead of Lance Stroll. Wow. That is sensationally quick, I have to say, and some serious pace he got there in the middle sector. Yeah, just some honestly brilliant pace there. All right, Leclerc next across the line. It is a 1 minute 11.0 from him, 3 tenths behind Max Verstappen. Next up, Lando Norris with his car sparking down the main straight across the line into 8th position. Unfortunately, Sainz into 8th, and we have a yellow flag. Oscar Piastri is off the circuit. He spins around, causing a yellow flag, ruining Sergio Perez's lap. Did he lift? Did he not? I don't know. Maybe he might get a warning about it later on, but here he is coming across the line, and it is a 1.5 seconds. So it looks like he had to lift going down into the yellow flag section where Piastri was. FYI, 2023 Alonso is regarded as the number 2 driver in Aston Martin. Well, yeah, I mean, it's probably just because Stroll's dad owns the team. Okie dokes, the clouds are ever so heavy. Okie dokes, rain is falling. Lando Norris confirms over the radio rain is falling. He also just a replay of Oscar Piastri. The car just slides off. He turns in, and the rear of the car just does not stick whatsoever. Yeah, the rear of the car just slides off into the edge of the circuit. Looking at Carlos Sainz's lap as he made his way through the first sector. He, I don't know exactly what happened there. I don't think he was paying attention. He'd finished his lap, and then on his out lap, he just drove extremely slowly, and off the circuit very slightly as well. All right, let's have a look then. Are they going to be... Oh, we've got drops of rain on the camera as well. Are they going to send Sergio Perez out on another set of tyres? Rain is now expected at this very point in time. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Are any of the drivers going to come out? Are they going to just sit in the pit lane? But it looks like rain is... Well, the clouds have very much descended all over the circuit. Alonso's come over the radio saying it's nighttime. And yeah, the clouds have made it so dark out here. It is crazy. I mean, you guys have to see the shots. Like, definitely watch the highlights on this afterwards. But the amount of wind, the wind up to now 9 kilometers an hour, it looks a lot more Oh, it says race controller have delivered a message, a change in climatic conditions. Um, look next to humidity. Oh, that's just yeah. One sec. Just let me fix that. Okie dokes. Track surface slightly slippery there. What are they going to do? Is anyone going to come out? Honestly, if someone comes out in these dark conditions, that would be very awesome. To see an F1 car drive out in the dark without any lights. Let's see. Leclerc over the radio says it felt like it was raining, but there was no rain around. It's super weird. Very, very strange here. I mean, the wind on the yeah, the wind in the actual cameras looks a lot stronger than the 5.4 kilometers an hour reported. The trees are very much blowing around everywhere. Oh, they've just red flagged it. It's just too dark to go right. Oh, well, there you go. Wait, they've red flagged it so the timer's stopped now. Are they gonna? The session will not be resumed. Okay, session will not be resumed. That is it. So Verstappen has got pole position. Charles Leclerc in second place. Stroll and Alonso on third and fourth. That is fantastic. The hype train is back, guys. The hype train did fall to basically into a black hole at one point in the middle of the season, but it's back. They've brought some upgrades, and here they are. And then we've got Hamilton and Russell in fifth and sixth. Norris and Sainz in seventh and eighth, and Perez and Piastri in ninth and 10th. Unfortunately, Perez just got caught out by Piastri's spin, and there was nothing he can do. But yeah, it is going to rain very, very heavily. Just looking at the radar, it is completely red, well, completely yellow, and then spots of red as well over the circuit. So the circuit is going to get soaked and very nice. Well, maybe it could happen tomorrow. So I definitely look forward to that. Um, and yeah, so basically, guys, I'm going to end today's stream. It'll take you over to tomorrow's stream. Go ahead and press the reminder button so you get a notification, and press the like button as well on tomorrow's stream, because that will help out the YouTube algorithm. Um, and what else was I going to say? And yeah, I'll be commentating for the sprint qualifying tomorrow and the sprint race. And then on Sunday as well, I'll be commentating for the race as well. And then, of course, Vegas and Abu Dhabi, I'll be doing the usual qualifying and race coverage as normal. So I'm going to end today's stream. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I very much appreciate it on a Friday. And what else was I going to say? Yeah, have a wonderful morning, day, afternoon, evening, or night, depending on where you are in the world. And oh my God, it is a torrential rainstorm in Interlagos. It is a miracle that the F1 happened just before that hit. Um, yeah, yeah, okay. And I will, I'll see you tomorrow. So thank you everyone for tuning in. It's been a pleasure commentating to you guys. I appreciate all the amazing, witty, and funny chat messages, and the questions as well. And I will see you tomorrow. Cheers, fellas.